Hey, listen, man. I'm glad that we had this conversation because
Me
you know
too.
something that you were saying earlier about cartoon. Y'all was boy, but I need a favor, man. Tell him I need him to donate me a tattoo. I got this real bad Michael Jackson tattoo.
Oh
Yeah, it's bad.
man, wow.
Yeah, yeah.
What he was mad at you or what?
Michael Jackson had just died.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so me and Lil Duval.
Yeah,
Lil Duval, he talked me into getting this,
yeah,
and yeah, it just went all the way wrong to the point where I had to commit.
yeah, yeah. Which
Yeah,
one's Michael Jackson? No, I'm just playing with you. Well,
yeah,
most of the homies do back home. You know, the ones that go to the prison and all that.
yeah.
They get the broads there on their arms here. So you know, and they're it's a late night, early morning type of thing, and they wanna, you know,
I
get
don't
their.
jack off to Michael Jackson.
No, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. No,
No, no, yeah,
but I'm just saying.
I like
Just
girls.
wait, laser that shit off and put you some, nice females up on there.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get Janet Jackson next time.
yeah, there you go. This is Estevan Oriol. You're watching This Is 50.com.
Estevan, what's up, baby? How
What's
you
up, brother?
doing?
How you doing?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good,
Yeah,
man. So you got this the new book.
right.
This is Los Angeles. This is a collective over 25 years of your work right here.
That's right.
Okay, and you just did this festival, not a festival. I'm sorry, exhibit
Uh huh.
in Brooklyn.
Yeah, Beyond the Streets. Today's opening day.
Okay,
It's,
okay.
it's basically, street art, from the hip hop movement and, just different street artists that have, gone throughout the years. It's 2 floors. It's an exhibit in Brooklyn and Williamsburg, and it's pretty live. Like, it's a lot of dope shit in there. And they had the opening night the other night for the artists, but tonight's the opening day for the public. And it'll be up for, I believe, a month.
What does this mean to you?
To me, it's a big thing with the art show.
Did the art show to be able to display your
To me, it's great, because it gives people the opportunity to see my work that in person that don't usually get to see it because I'm not out here on this coast. They did the first one in LA, and it was an amazing success. I sold all my photos in the thing. I did real good in the merch because they use a photo of mine that's like my iconic photo. It's the LA Fingers, and they use it for the badges. They use it for the billboards, for the leaflets that they passed out. So that photo got a lot of recognition during that show, and that was the photo that I had displayed in there. So in photography, they do a thing called editions. So you make like 3 of 3. So if somebody buys one, there's 2 left. So that photo sold out there, and then we sold out on the merch, and it was a great summer for me. And to come out here was cool because I was a tour manager for House of Pain from '92 to '94, and I was a tour manager for Cypress Hill from '94 to 2005. So the labels were out here, so New York was like our second home. So it's really cool to come out here and display my work here in New York, and give all my people out here a chance to come and see it live. And, the last time I was here was after Sandy, and it was like a week after Sandy, but we had already had the exhibition set up. So it was me and my pops. It was called Like Father, Like Son, and we opened up like a week after Sandy, and the power had just turned on that day. And
I hated Sandy.
a lot of people came that night because it was kind of something fresh, like positive. There was, a lot of like a dark cloud over the city after that.
Yeah.
So a lot of people came out and had a good time. They're like, you know what, this is a great night because we had the blues, for a week, and that was pretty cool that we got to give that by just showing some art. So that was cool. And then Now it's my
Before,
first time back.
like father, like son.
Yeah.
What was that all about? Like, what did your dad contribute to the game to the point where you would like, hey man, we need to do this together?
Well, he gave me my first camera.
Oh,
And
that'll do it.
he was a photographer before I was, good
Paparazzi.
20 years. No, we don't mess around like that. But he did, like a lot of culture photos because he was working in the neighborhood, and he was like kind of a community activist. And they needed photos to show what they were talking about when they go, talk to the city and stuff about changes that they need in the community. And it was always hard to get a photographer, so he just started taking photos on his own.
That's deep.
And that's how he became a photographer. And then he was like, hey man, you live a cool lifestyle. You're low riding in East LA, and then you're traveling the world like a rock star. It's kind of a cool contrast. I think you should document that,
When he first said that, what was going through your mind?
I thought about it, because I didn't see it like that. Your parents always see something different than you, but it's always something good and, positive, and things you don't always see. So I was like, yeah, maybe that is kind of cool, so I started taking the camera around and taking it out at the lowrider functions and when we were working on the cars, and then I went on the road and started taking it out backstage and live shots of the bands performing, and it slowly progressed to where I started doing hip hop photo shoots for magazines and album covers, and that turned into music videos. And then on the lowrider side, I got into the whole car culture, with the magazines, and because I had a lowrider before I had a camera. So I bought the car in like '89 and had it done around '92. And we got 64 Impala. And so I was kind of like, I came into the photography world from the culture, not outside shooting the culture. A lot of people that take photos of hip hop, they're not in the group, They're like outsiders coming in to shoot the hip hop culture, and the same with lowriding. There's rarely any guys that are ever photographers in the lowrider community that have a lowrider.
Now let me ask you this, because I know a bunch of photographers, and I'm very interested in to know, like, is it, if somebody would have told you when you was 15 years old that you were going to be a world-renowned photographer, would you have believed them? And on top of that, is it something that even seemed like it might be interesting to you? Because I know with your job, when your dad made that suggestion to you, like, you know what, I do need to just document it for myself, because it is kind of all the situations that I'm getting in. It's cool,
right?
But before that, it probably was not really that interesting to you.
Yeah,
the
never.
Concept of being a photographer.
Yeah, I never thought about it ever. I always thought, my mom raised me just to be a hard worker and whatever I did. So I never thought like, I'm gonna be an artist or a photographer. I always thought I was just gonna be a hardworking guy, because before I started tour managing, I did construction during the day, and I did the door at clubs at night. And that's how I met all the bands, like Cypress Hill, House of Pain, Booyah Tribe, and that's how I met all my people. And that's where I met Muggs, and Muggs liked the way I handled myself at the door. He's like, hey, you're respectful with everybody and you're cool with everybody, but you don't let nobody, push you around. And that's the kind of person that I need to roll with these guys, which was the House of Pain.
And that's something you definitely have to have being inside the industry, is that particular attitude, and especially being a photographer,
Right?
Because you got to muscle your way into a lot of different situations, especially when you just starting off and you trying to make a name for yourself, right?
Yeah. Well, that's a cool thing, is when you're coming from the inside, you don't have to do all that. It's like when you're coming from the outside, you got to do that, because I'm already there.
You was already there, right.
I'm backstage every day. I'm the guy with the passes. So there was never me trying to get backstage to take pictures of the artists or this and that. And I was already there, and it was like perfect. Just pick up a camera and take a couple shots, and it took off from there.
When did you know it was time to? All right, I think that I need to go ahead and put all my energy into just being a straight up photographer now.
I'd say because I was a tour manager, I saw like the budgets of everything. I saw the album budgets, album packaging budgets, photo shoots, and I saw video budgets. And I was like, man, if I can get in a couple of these a year, I'll be cool, you know? And so I told, you know, Cypress, hey, let me shoot an album cover for you. Let me shoot a video, you know, for you guys. And they go, yeah, you're family. Let's do that shit. And
Supportive like that.
yeah, and we got, you know,
Wow.
we got those checks because I was like, we're gonna give it to somebody else. We might as well give it to the family, you know. I'm just as good as them fools, you know. Let me get that check, and they're like, yeah, go for it.
With that being said, right there, let's talk about that. Your culture. It sounds like y'all very supportive of each other.
Yeah, it was a brotherhood, you know. We were a family, and that's how we got down, you know. We had each other's back 24/7, you know, without all that. So why wouldn't we have it when it came to, you know, putting a check in each other's pocket? You know, to this day, I still, you know, bring stuff to the homies from Cyprus, like, you know, like, hey, this guy from Germany wants to do a song with you guys, and I'll go, you know, hey, how much you want, and then I'll tell the other artists, like, you know, you want a song with B-Real, it's gonna cost this much, or Send Dog, you know. So we always give back to each other and look out for each other, because you know, when we first started hanging out and working together, none of us had anything. You know, like, we didn't have shit together. If I
Ground up, that's where you know these guys.
yeah,
Okay.
like broke.
Okay.
You know, like, we didn't have nothing, and we share food. You know, like, hey, you know, you want to go eat? I'm kind of short today. You know, here, have a burrito. You know, for you, half for me. You know.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the give the shirt off your back type of shit. You know, so when money started coming around, it was like natural. You know. Hey, I got this for you, I got that for you, you know, pays this much, or this one doesn't pay that much, but you know, you got me, hell yeah, you know.
I can dig it.
Yeah,
I can dig it.
family, fucking whatever you need. You know, we'll do the shit free if we have to, you know. You're my brother, and that's how it goes.
When you already inside the game and everything, getting your name out there to where people know that you the go-to guy when it comes to events as far as sports go, music. Like, how hard was it for you to cross over and do your own thing, getting publicity to be Estevan?
Yeah. It came kind of easy because I was the mouthpiece, you know. I was the front guy for the whole group, you know. I was the guy that would go and ask for, you know, hey, we need this or we need that, you know, for my guys. So I was like, okay, now I need some shit for me. I'm gonna, you know, just
You already knew the
ride
game.
same way, yeah.
I can dig it.
And I would what happened was I started seeing because I hooked up the press. You know, I'd get a fax from the record label, and they'd be like, "Hey, you got 4 things of press to do today. Tell the guys, you know, to take an hour of their time and do this. You can do it whenever, before sound check, after sound check, before the show, after the show, whatever you want." So I would hook up the 4 guys in an hour, give them 15 minutes each. You know, each magazine or each radio station or whatever, and I'd always see the photographer struggling because the interviewer would take most of the time to get the story. But then the photographer had like 8 pages to fill of photos to go with the story, and he was short on time, you know, because I'd be like, hey man, you know, I hate to do this to you, but the next magazine is here, get your shot, and we got to keep it moving. So by doing that, I would tell the magazine guys, I go, hey, if you guys ever need any extra shots of them backstage or them, you know, live doing their live shows, I got you. And they were like, yeah, right, fucking roadie over here trying to push his photos on us. And then I would show them these little photo albums I had from our photo lab, and they're like, hey, you shot this? I go, yeah. And they're like, yeah, can we use these? I go, yeah, sure. And I go, you know, what's in it for me? And they would tell me, oh, you know, we could use this photo for $500. I'm like, damn. that's kind of a good turnaround, you know.
Yeah.
$25 for the roll of film and to get it developed.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm making 500 just for one photo. Like, this is kind of cool, you know. And so then I was like, that was my hustle, you know. Every time a magazine would come through, I would like, you know, finesse it in a way that it wasn't like a, you know, like I was starving for, you know. I'd be like, yeah, if you guys ever need any extra photos, you know, let me know. And I started working with hip hop magazines, and then I was like, well, now we're going on. Back then there was hip hop tours, and then there was festivals where the rock groups and the rap groups were doing shows together. So we were on tour like, you know, Hole and Sonic Youth and Red Hot Chili Peppers, like the Lollapalooza days and all that, and Woodstock 1994. So I started thinking like at that time I was one of the only people backstage or with the access to shoot the shows live the whole time. You know, I was one of the only ones with a camera, so I was like, man, you know, I'm doing all these hip hop groups, you know, I should just touch into the rock world, you know. So I started shooting some of those bands, and then I would tell the magazines, you know, like if you need any backstage shots or live shots of those bands too, I got that too, and so that got me into like kind of the rock world, and it took off from there.
Now, let's talk about photo cred.
Yeah.
Now, it always pisses me off when somebody remind me to give them photo cred on a picture. You know what I'm saying? They're like he could take a picture of me and you like right after this interview, and he don't do this, but it's a lot of people like, yo man, I can't get no photo, motherfucker. You not a real photographer. Yeah. You took my phone and you just clicked some shit that it wasn't really that serious.
Yeah.
At what point do we know that we are a photographer and it's worth something? This photo cred. When do I deserve photo cred?
When you're a pro. You know, when you put it.
How do I know that I'm a pro as a photographer?
When you're paying your bills with it. You know, to me, a professional is somebody that does a craft and they get a check for it, and that's how they make their living. That's how they pay their bills and support their family. That's a professional, whether you're a plumber or a photographer or you know, whatever. If you're out there just, you know, Mickey Mousing for the gram,
Mickey Mousing,
you know. I mean, it's times have changed, you know.
Yeah, they changed, man.
So it's like
it's a little oversaturated.
Yeah, like anybody that touches the button on your phone of a picture that you're even setting up, you know, they want photo credit for that. Like,
do you find it hard to for you to do business and everything with all the makeshift photographers that are out right now?
Yeah,
you know,
100%. It's way harder now than it was back in the day. And back in the day, you had to be good to get work, and you had to know people. Like there was so much shit, you know, against you that it was crazy. But once you broke through, you were in. You were like in the in crowd, like editors. You know, you could work with editors. You could work with this record label.
It was clicks.
Yeah, there was clicks, but
you had to work your way in
to get in the
click. Right.
Now you don't have to be shit. You know, you could be an Instagram photographer, and because there was magazines, so you had to get to the editors of the magazines, and you had to be good enough to get to them for them to give you work. Now the magazines are your own Instagram. You run your own Instagram. You do your own advertising on there for your own product. You do your own editorials. You do your own videos on your Instagram, which is your own magazine. And it's worldwide. 24 hours a day, 365 days a week. Magazines back in the day were for 1 month. So say I shot, you know, a story on you, after the month they pull it off the shelves, it's over. Nobody ever see it again unless they bought that magazine or they saw it in a doctor's office.
It's exclusive.
Now
rare.
It's 24/7, 365.
It lives
worldwide.
on forever. Yeah.
People in Australia are probably watching me and you right now. Back in the day, they wouldn't see this for another month, you know, and in a magazine. You know, now they're watching it right on the spot, you know, all over the world.
And you feel like that hurts the value of whatever it would be.
Yeah, because you're not getting paid to do it. You know, now they have that word now, the clout. You know,
Clout.
doing everything for the clout. You know, and it wasn't like that back in the day. You know, you had to have real talent. You had to, you know, there was you know, certain procedures and steps you had to take to get into the elite crowd, and now you don't have to do none of that. You know?
So is that one of the reasons why you had decided to do this book?
That's kind of just, you know, like they're more of like a promotional thing, like to show, you know, that you were there at these times and you did this kind of work, and you know, you had that archive, you know. Because you know, there's people that just do photos, and they're digital photos, and they put them on the gram, and sometimes they even erase them. You know, they don't even have them. Like I remember, you know, for me, books are kind of old school. You have to be kind of like an old school person to want to put out a book, because there's a lot of work and they cost a lot of money to make the prints, to do the printing and all that, and the shipping. They're £5 each. You know, the mail.
This a baby. This a premature baby right here.
Right. That's my little baby. So to ship those, you know, from the printer to you is another check, you know, that you have to cut. Whereas nowadays you just, you know,
Do ebooks and all that other
yeah,
stuff.
it's nothing.
Is there an award for being a photographer? Is there like some Pulitzer Prize or Photographers Award?
Yeah, there is. I just don't know how to get it. You know, I mean, I think I got some pretty cool photos, but like I see all these guys, they're like award-winning photographers. I'm like, how the fuck they do that? Like, where's those awards at?
Where do I get nominated? Where do you sign up?
Yeah, how can I get down? You know, but
That's a whole nother club and bubble, huh?
yeah, but it's not that important to me, you know.
Okay.
I'm cool with just people coming up to me telling me, hey, you know, I love your work. Or seeing somebody go to an art show of mine and see them smile at a photo that they see, or somebody. I've had people go to my shows and they cried seeing a photo. Like I brought out that emotion or a memory that made them cry because they saw a photo that I took. To me, that's a bigger reward than having a $3 trophy on the fireplace.
I can dig it. If your life was a movie, what would it be called?
LA Originals.
LA Originals.
Yeah.
And why?
Because that's what we decided on the name, and it's coming out in I think January. Me and Cartoon.
Man, congratulations, man.
Thank you. This is the treatment right here. This is storyboards for it right there.
Okay.
It's a documentary.
Okay.
It's about you know, the little movement me and Cartoon have been involved in throughout the 25 years. And you know, we got 50 in there when Cartoon was tattooing his back.
Did Cartoon do Cypress Hills and
Yeah.
he did their tattoos too?
Yeah.
Wow.
Tattoos.
And House of Pain?
No, none of House of Pain, but Cypress Hill, yeah.
Where you even meet Cartoon at?
At I had a homie named Donnie Charles, rest in peace. He was a manager of WC in the Mad Circle back in the day, and he had a record label called Hood Rat Records. And me and him met each other through the club scene, and we were both into lowriding, and he was the one who took apart my whole car in the street at my apartment. And he was like, hey man, what are you gonna do with this, you know, nice Impala? You gonna lowride it one day, or you just gonna roll it around all raggedy like this? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. He goes, when? I go, when I get the money. He goes, no, help me get my tools, we're gonna do this shit right now. I was like, fuck man, you know, and he just took the whole shit apart, took the interior out, took all the bumpers off, all the chrome, started laying all the shit out on the sidewalk in different groups. You know, the interior, the chrome, the polishing, and he was like, okay, now on Monday we're gonna take it to the paint shop, and we're gonna pull the motor out and get it painted, and then we'll start putting it together as the parts come through. and he had that same connection with Cartoon because Cartoon was in the music industry and lowriding at the same time. So we went to this event for the Penthouse Players. It was a Penthouse Players release party at the Hollywood Athletic Club. And back in those days, like most of the hip hop functions in LA, it was like mostly the black crowd, you know. You'd see a couple of the white dudes that worked at the record label, and then a couple Latinos were sprinkled in there. So, you know, when you walk into a place, you would see, you know, oh, there's a couple of the record label dudes over there, and you know, there's a couple of the Latino fools over there. So Donnie was like, hey, there's my other Mexican homie right there, Cartoon. You know, I want to introduce you to him. He's into lowriding, and you know, obviously he's in the industry too. Let's, you know, go introduce you to him. And he took me over there, and I met him, and we hung out, you know, tight for all those years, you know.
Get out of here.
And at that time, I had a sampler tape from House of Pain.
Okay.
It had Jump Around and like an intro. It was a 7-minute sampler cassette. And I was like, hey man, you know, I'm working with this band now. I'm about to you know, go on this promo tour, you know, here's the tape. And he was gonna go to Japan to mural some lowriders, and I had just got back from Japan. So I was like, oh yeah, it's bomb over there, you know, go check out this spot, that spot, you know. And that was kind of rare for people in our culture to be traveling to those kind of foreign places and, you know, be into all the same things, you know, lowriding and in the music game. So we clicked, you know, real good, and ended up, you know, being best friends and, you know, living together and working together.
Oh, that's your boy.
Yeah, like we, you know, started, you know, companies together, and we kind of had like this little like, and you know, I brought him into our crew, which was the Soul Assassins, which is, you know, Cypress,
The Soul Assassins.
me and Cartoon, and we had like pretty much every type of art form in our crew. We had music, art, photography, you know, video, and clothing. We had a clothing company called Joker Brand. So we had every type of art form in our crew. Like Wu-Tang, they had like 9 rappers, you know. We had like all the same amount of people, but we had guys that did everything in our crew. So we ended up starting a company within our, you know, our Joker warehouse, which was SA Studios, which stood for Soul Assassin Studios, and we started doing album covers and packaging. So I would like try to get the jobs from being in the hip hop scene, and I would do the photo shoot. Cartoon would do the logo, and then our designer, Lil Lucky, that designed all the Joker clothing, he would do the layouts with the computers.
Sounds simple enough.
Right? So, and then I knew the labels and stuff, so, you know, I would know the budgets so that they couldn't like...
they couldn't shortchange you.
Yeah, they couldn't okie doke
Right.
and be like, oh no, we only have this, because I was like, no, you know, I know what it is.
Right. Stop playing.
So I just go, give it all to me, and I'll deliver you the
Finished product.
Yeah.
Man, well, I know you got some more famous shit to do, man. Where can everybody find this book at, man, and see your work?
Well, the easiest place nowadays is the gram. You know, you just put a little @ right there and Estevan Oriol, or you can go to my website. It's estevanoriol.com, and everything is there. The photos, the store, the whole nine. I keep it simple, you know, for everybody, because, you know, you start doing little weird things, or
Reinventing the wheel, and yeah.
Or you do like a underscore or something that you get lost.
Yeah, I hate that.
You know, so I
Keep it simple. We're very excited to have you over here, man, and we can't wait to have you back again, man.
Yeah,
Thanks
sure.
again.
Thank you, brother.
Already.
Yeah.
Well, like I always say, you just can't say you're real. It's something you got to be, man. We open, we out of here. Do I have something in mind? Y'all go to commercial. And don't kiss them hoes in the mouth unless you got to.